Couple thoughts from the assessment that you took last week on Rosa, where you had to identify the theme and give support of that theme. Really, three things stuck out to me as I went through and reviewed these assessments. Number one, I think many of you are when I tell you to give a background, you're giving way too much of a background, and it ends up being your support ends up being a summary of the text, and that's not what we want. The example I'm going to show you in a second, the background is as simple as one sentence, if nothing else, to just set the tone of where the story begins, and then you can get right into it. Don't give me a summary; it doesn't defend your theme. Okay, I guess the second thing then was, when you show evidence of your theme, answer each part of that theme. Every single part, point out where you saw evidence of it in the story. And once again, assume that whomever is going to read this knows nothing. Many of you made way too many assumptions that people read this text and they knew the story. You can't make that assumption. The last thing then, matching your evidence to your theme. The example that I give here is, if your theme was standing up for what you believe in, how did that person stand up for what they believe in? And tell us that they stood up for what they believe in or this is one thing that they stood for. Let me show you an example. So this was from Rosa, and the theme that this person ended up going with was stand up for what you believe in. Now, their background to lead into their support was the very first sentence. That's it. During the civil rights movement, people of color did not have the same rights as whites. Many of you referenced this indirectly in your support. You have to tell us that straight up. What were they fighting for? You identified that they were fighting for something, but some of you didn't come out and say what exactly it was. So now they get into their support of this theme. Okay, she was riding home on the bus one day. She was told to get up from her seat and give it up for a white person. Okay, still haven't talked about standing up for what you believe in, though. Till the next sentence. Rosa stood up for what she believed in because she refused to give up her seat because, and this is the most important part here, she felt blacks should have the same rights as whites. I think many of you indirectly referenced that, but didn't come out and say it. Okay. Now that's one example. Okay. My second example is the second part here. Okay. Where I talk about the bus boycott that was organized. Yeah, there was a bus boycott organized, but what does that have to do with standing up for what you believe? Well, the people that participated in that bus boycott felt that blacks should be treated the exact same way as whites, regardless of the color of their skin. And I put that's it. Okay, so what you see here is a good example of what you should aim for in that support. What I want you to do then right now is go back, and I want you to revise your post from Rosa from last week. I want you to revise the post to better reflect your thoughts on the theme and how specifically that theme was supported. Copies of the text are on the counter.